Hello there, composers. I'm Guerguerian, and I'm going to describe for you this multiple percussion setup, this hybrid setup. As you can see, part of it has a quasi-traditional drum set, and then I use hand drums on this side. And in the music, you see in the key that I'll show you in the music, basically there's 8 instruments. There's the bass drum. I have a floor tom here, would be the next one up. A little snare drum. And then there's a hi-hat. I've been playing with a stick or with a foot. And then next would be the ride cymbal. And then the small crash. So, and then on this side, I would have, starting with the frame drum, and then the dubek. And on both of these, there's 3 basic sounds. There's the bass tone on the frame drum, edge tone, or the high tone, bass, and then the muted tone. So 3 basic colors, and usually we say doom for the bass, tek for the edge tone, and we go tek-ka, so tek would be your lead hand, ka would be your non-lead hand, and then pa, so like doom, tek-ka, tek-ka, pa, tek-ka, tek-ka, doom, tek-ka, tek-ka, pa, tek-ka, tek-ka, doom, tek-ka, pa, tek-ka, doom, tek-ka, pa. Same thing on the doombek. Since you're probably more familiar with the Western instruments, on both of these instruments, you could also play them separately or solo, and I'll just demonstrate lap style as opposed to freehand style. So I could show you a few different things that you could write for. So once again, the bass tones usually played this way. Sometimes I can play with my thumb or my index finger, depending on the stroke. That doesn't matter to you so much. You could just say bass tone and then edge tone, which is the text. Now with I have the ability to do grace notes, or what we might call a rough, with the left hand or the right hand, using 2 ways. One would be kind of like what we call a dead stroke or a dry stroke, using either all 4 fingers, or traditionally use the 3 fingers, 4, 3, 2. And then if I do them together, I would go so, or going the other way. You can do kind of rolls, like a buzz roll. The equivalent of a buzz roll with a finger, you call it a finger roll. And in the left hand too, whether you notate it or not, just depending on if you want a separate accent, I could do snaps. So say a basic Middle Eastern rhythm is called melody, and it goes doom, doom, tek-ka, pa, doom, tek-ka, pa, doom, tek-ka, pa, doom, tek-ka, pa. I can play with snaps and get a little bit more volume. Doom, tek-ka, pa, doom, tek-ka, pa, doom. If I want to embellish it, I can go doom, doom, tek-ka, pa, doom, tek-ka, pa, tek-ka, doom, tek-ka, pa, doom, tek-ka, pa. You do a lot of 3 patterns, like 1, 2, 3. There's a split hand technique in the right hand, and a lot of the rolls, like even if it's 16th notes, work against the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Instead of just going always back and forth, you might go. bass notes that way too. I go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which also allows me to do like a fast 12/8, like a jig or something like that. Sweeping strokes. And so you might want to write a whole piece. Somebody could write a whole piece just on the frame drum. Somebody could write a whole piece if they like just on the doumbek. The doumbek is basically the similar strokes, the doom, the text, and the pause. Sounds a little bit different. I'll show you. So. There's your doom. Tekas. Pa. Doom, doom, teka, pa, doom, teka. Same rhythm. Glissandi by basically just making the surface of the head smaller. Same triplet thing. And all the embellishments, the 6 strokes, the 3 strokes, the 7-stroke rolls, works good. So I could quickly demonstrate, and then actually let me show you a couple other things. So there's all that. The drum set, of course, is the traditional. I could play with the hands a little bit. Need this, but of course you could use sticks. Rim sounds. Sometimes you could do very lightly on this. Buzz rolls. I could also get these sounds. It's about the same as the hand. Of course, there's brushes. Ends of the brushes for a metal sound. And mallets. And then all together, we could play them. We could play something together. Say if I play a simple beat on the drum set, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the close hi-hat with the foot keep a nice ostinato pattern as I'm doing other things with the hand drums. And then also two other instruments that I have that use the same basic doom, tek, and pa is the Middle Eastern tambourine, and you could play it the dry way, which is a classic way, which is the dooms this way, tek, pa, doom, doom, tek, pa, doom, tek, pa, tek, doom, doom, tek, pa, tek, pa, tek, doom, tek, pa. So you could just write for that, it would just, it's a higher pitch sound. It's similar to this, but much higher pitch. But usually, a lot of times, you would play with the cymbals, or called the zills. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E. And it would go doom, doom, tek, pa, doom, tek, pa, tek, doom, doom, tek, pa, doom, tek, pa, tek, doom, doom, tek, pa, tek, pa. And then there's also an edge sound here. Doom, tek, pa, and then the zills. Chicka, 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 chicka. Get a castagnette sound, and I could play like 3 or 4 at the same time as a rough or grace notes. Or you can write it either way, 3 or 4, and I'll just manage around it. And then the other instrument is a Kanjira. It's a South Indian drum. And basically on this one you use the right hand for almost all the strokes. The left hand is kind of the same thing as playing on a violin or something. You adjust the pitch that way. Turn you up. So just basically the doom and then tere. You can also say taka. I'll get it. Doom, tere, tere, doom. And they're dry sounds, because the skin is very, very loose. But lately I've been playing it more on this drum, which is a pandero, but I use a Kanjira style, and it's a little bit, it fits nicer in the whole ensemble. I just showed you the Kanjira because that's the traditional instrument to play with that technique. You get to hear the bass a little bit better with this one. Doom, ba, doom, ba, doom, ba, doom, doom. You can just write that note with a little arrow up to sweep it up, or down, but usually it's easier to go from down to up. You can still see the doom, the pa, and the teke, just to make it easier. And then you can also play on the zills here, they're dry, or the castagnette sound. And that's basically it. And thanks for writing these pieces. And also I think as far as how fast to do certain things, this is about 96 on the metronome. So 16th notes, 32nd notes. I might play them even. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 da. If I use that technique, I can take it beyond the 32nd notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. So I can fit about 12 notes per beat. Thank you very much. Until I see you again, bye-bye.